Hey everyone, welcome to my channel. Today I'm pretty excited because I would like to make an announcement of my upcoming Revit API course. We'll go through the program and all cool features of it. But before getting started, make sure to like this video, subscribe to the channel, leave some comments, and turn on notifications. First and foremost, that course is in development. Right now, I'm offering a pre-order option, so I want people to know what it includes and what benefits they will get. And the pre-order option will be up to the 15th of November. And yeah, this is not a 100% program. I'll include more topics, more features in there. I think it's 80% ready, 80% done. So the first, actually, we will go through the chapters, through the modules I've prepared, so you can get a feel of what you will get. So the first one is getting started chapter. And actually here, as you can see, I grabbed some of the screenshots from the course, from the presentations that I've prepared. So the first one will be what you will learn. And actually, you're gonna learn a lot because I've prepared tons of great videos for you and a lot of resources. My main goal was my main goal is to help you learn how to be able to solve any problem related to Revit API. So, right, I think there's no point in covering all possible topics. What is really important is to teach you how to problem solve, how to gain that skill to be able to solve any problems related not only to Revit API but to the programming at all. Also, you'll master object-oriented programming and solid principles because we'll make sure that not only do we go through all of the great features of Revit API, but it'll also make sure that we write clean code, which is really important. Also, we'll create our own reusable library. We want to have the structure. I want you, once you've done with the course, once you've finished it, to be able to utilize all the cool stuff that you went through in the course, in your own plugins, right? So we'll make sure that it's going to be some sort of like a core library for all of your future plugins that'll help you a lot in solving a lot of problems. Also, what is quite important is to how to find solutions to problems for problems, right? So what is crucially important is that you know how to Google because all the important stuff are out there, and sometimes you deal with simple problems, so it's really easy to Google them and learn some information related to it. So we'll go through that skill as well. Also, what is quite crucial is how to learn information. So, because that course contains heaps of great information, heaps of complex information, so I want people to have some resources that they can read up on. So basically, that'll help. So the resources that'll help you know how to memorize a lot of information and just help you learn in a better way, right? So everything will stick around. And also, I'll show you my approach, like how I learn something new and my approach of going about it. Then we start with introduction module. So again, I think I'll add more kind of videos to it. But for the time being, it includes like what is an API, what is a Revit add-in, like programs you need to download, how to set your coding environment, and how to create your first Hello World app. But I think I'll definitely include just some stuff that you can create with Revit API because I think that is vitally important to motivate you to learn Revit API. So I think I'll have like the first video will be like the showcase of some of the plugins and how they work and what you can build using Revit API. Then I'm still thinking about whether I should include it, and I'm pretty much think that I will. It's the object-oriented programming module because that course focuses on Revit API, not only on Revit API, but on programming in general. So I thought it would be cool to have a module related to the object-oriented programming. So you'll understand like object-oriented programming, you'll create your first classes, you'll learn about encapsulation, polymorphism, inheritance, and also about solid principles. If that doesn't mean anything to you right now, if that doesn't seem familiar, don't worry about it. We will go through this. What is crucially important that you know just the basic syntax of C sharp because we cannot touch everything on this course, like the C sharp basics and a lot of stuff. But I think that the learning syntax doesn't take a lot of time, so it can take up to like maybe 1 week. So it's not going to be a big deal for you to just get a feel for the syntax. I mean, like the basic syntax, not the complex one and not the advanced one. Now we go and we deep into like actions related to Revit API. So once you know what Revit API can offer you, once you know what just an add-in is, once you're familiar with object-oriented programming, we'll jump straight right into basic actions with Revit API, something like selection, editing elements, UI applications, like all of the stuff that may not seem familiar to you right now. But for example, if I take uh, a selection, for example, I break it down into two different selections. So for example, the first one is from Revit database because sometimes you don't need to prompt user to select something. You just wanna, for example, you have a model, you have some walls in it, and you just wanna get these walls, read some information about it, maybe write some information to them. So that is the first type of selection. And the second type of selection is when you actually say that, you know, the user should select some of the elements from Revit. So you have this interaction with user. And actually, as you can see, there are a lot of um, videos here because I really wanted to make the most out of this and show you not only the selection related classes in Revit API, but also show you some cool features that we can do using uh, just programming, right? Just the power of object-oriented programming. You can see we will even build our UML diagrams to understand relationship between classes. So it really covers a lot here. Also, of course, we'll go some of the stuff like editing elements, for example, changing the parameters of elements, like changing their locations, uh, something like all of these UI application classes. So, for example, if you want to create something in the document, maybe you want to open some document, read the version of Revit, and all other features that can be pretty useful throughout all of these classes. Also, what we really dive deep into is geometry, because this is what I think is one of the most difficult things when it comes to Revit API. Because most of us, we came from Dynamo, which is not important. If you want to learn Revit API, it doesn't relate in any way. But most of us came from there, and um, we used to having that option to visualize everything on the fly, right? So you create something and you see this right away. But with C Sharp and when you're developing Revit plugins, it's not that simple. So my goal was to go through the basics of geometry at all, show you how to visualize each element in Revit, right? So to create a similar process that we have in Dynamo because that can help you a lot. And we'll cover really advanced stuff and all the stuff that you really need, that you will need 99% of the time to create most of your to kind of to meet up to all of the requirements that you have. And also we'll go through the transformation, the bounding boxes, but to be honest, it all falls down under the geometry category. So yeah, we'll really, if you really want to master geometry in Revit API, that chapter will be the right place for you. Also, we have interaction with miscellaneous Revit elements. So basically, I just broke it. I just broke it into like, for example, working with project file, because previously we checked that we will go through parameters, like how to change the parameters of some elements. For example, set some values and read some data from them. But we know that we have something what is called a project parameter, a shared parameter, like a global parameter, how to add these, how to do some interaction with them. For example, if you have some project parameter, like how to change the category of it. So all of these manipulations will be included right here. So I kind of divided these the interaction with parameters into two different chapters, two different modules. So the first one will be in the module of basic actions with Revit API, and the second one in the interaction with miscellaneous Revit elements. And like working with categories and subcategories, actually, as I said, it's not done. It's not 100% done. Just like the blueprint, just the outline of the course, what it will include, just to get you, just to give you a feel for the course. Also, we'll learn how to work with views, filters, schedules. So basically, all Revit elements that you have. Also with annotation elements, with linked files, with loadable families, and I'll make sure that I'll put some examples from the real plugin development so it can be easier for you uh, to understand where it can be applicable. And now we'll go to advanced features. So far you're going to be pretty much confident with Revit API, but now it's time for us to go to advanced features. And these advanced features will include events, external event, updaters, warnings. So far, that's it. I think I'll include more, but there are some advanced topics that I really want to cover in this course. And what really makes that course special is the practical solutions module, because it's cool to learn about all of the stuff like that you really need to get started. But it's also like essential for you to kind of see what can be built and have that code. So here I included some practical solutions, and that'll be an endless course. And the main reason being for this is that once I develop something new, something interesting, I'll make sure that I include that in my course. So for the time being, I'll have like create room finish plugin, element layouts, for example, create views for all room elements. For example, when you select a room and all sections or elevations are being generated. Also, we'll have an option to create views by curves or walls, get orientation of the wall, some complex filtrations of rooms surrounding elements, right? So any kind of filtration that has to do with some geometry calculation. Also, will include some naming convention for the views that we're creating and more actually. Also, we'll have some plugin that will connect pipes or conduits and update data in Excel, update data in elements from Excel, and we'll do this automatically. So, for example, we'll react to changes in Revit elements. For example, when your element has a change in some of its parameter, we will make that change. So you'll learn how to do this sort of interaction. And there's going to be more here. I really think of creating this for like architecture, for structural engineering, for like MEP. So my goal is to include all of these cool features here. Not only that, but we'll also learn how to work with Git and GitHub using Visual Studio. That is crucially important for working with some people because probably you'll be in a team of developers and you need to change and you need to like have this synchronization of your code. So we'll also learn that, and I'll make sure that I include a lot of great examples, and I'll show you how to set up the GitHub, the Git, and all of the cool stuff. And now the main question is why you should buy this course and what makes this course special. So first of all, it's comprehensive, right? So as you saw, I included a lot of features there. I included a lot of topics that are vitally important for you to know, to be really confident with Revit API. But also, what is really crucial is that it includes exercises. What a lot of courses lack is the really exercises not just for like for 15 minutes, right? But the exercises that'll make you problem solve, that'll make you learn how to problem solve. So here, how that works is that you'll get a Revit file. So I'll prepare a Revit file for you, and you'll get a video with a task, right? What should be done, what you should get. You'll get the answer in terms of just some number. It will be maybe the sum of IDs or the sum of elements or like the position of some elements. It doesn't matter. It relates to the task that you'll have. Your goal is to solve it. So basically, the answer that you get is just for you to kind of know if you solved that correctly. But I'll make sure that these kind of questions, these kind of tasks, will make you learn how to problem solve because they're going to be complex, but not too complex. And also the community, right? So the Telegram chat with all support. So I think these three things make that course special because first of all, you will learn this on practice because it will have a lot of exercises, but also it includes the community. So you can have some chat with people and you can interact. Maybe we'll make new friends and you can develop plugins together. So that can be quite cool and helpful. And you're gonna get my help. I'm gonna be in that Telegram chat, and you're gonna get my support, of course. And what about pre-order bonus, right? So here, that is why I'm actually making an announcement right now, but not like in 1 month or maybe 2 months. So pre-order bonus is actually what you get if you make a pre-order, right? So first of all, you'll get a complete plugin with beautiful UI and advanced setup using Prism library. So that is not just examples of plugins because actually, if I go back to the practical solutions, these solutions are not going to focus on UI, right? So this course is not related to building UI components. I'll have a completely different course dedicated for this purpose. This plugin is its primer focus on make you become a better developer and kind of and um, be really proficient in Revit API. So here, it will include one of my plugins, and you'll have the advanced setup using Prism library. So you'll see how I set up my plugin. So the changes are easy. So you can easily make some changes to that plugin and all of the cool features. Also, you get videos as I make them, so you don't need to wait till the whole course is released, right? So that is also one of the great features that if I, for example, have like one chapter done and all the exercise for it, I'll kind of release it and you can start watching it. So it's kind of also quite a cool benefit. And one cool feature is that you get 1 hour conversation with me. So it can be, you can ask me whenever you want about Revit API development, uh, like what your path may look like, and any kind of advice that you want to get. And as I told you, it's not going to include any UI stuff because I really think that I want to create a different course for this purpose. And for this purpose, I'll have a plugin development course that will include like WPF with MVVM pattern using Prism. We'll have like interactions with databases, advanced setup for building your Revit plugins, custom UI components. So it will include some advanced stuff for people who went through that course or who are just confident with their Revit API and programming skills. So for more information, you can reach me via email or social media. Make sure to check links in the description. I hope that kind of presentation was helpful, and maybe you want to purchase that course. Maybe that is something that you want to get. And it doesn't mean that I'm not gonna post like Revit API videos in my YouTube. No, I'm gonna post a lot of topics, a lot of great things out here. But that course is gonna be kind of more structured. Here you'll get the community, you'll get all the exercises and all of the great features that YouTube cannot provide. So that's it for today. I hope that was useful. So make sure to like this video, subscribe to the channel, hit the notification button, and leave some comments. Have a nice day.